guys, Purple Plant Lady here with a short little video about plant care and how to protect your plants against bugs and how to underwater. And I don't mean watering it, um, not watering your plants enough. I mean watering from underneath the plant. So when I first got my house plants, I only had one or two because I thought, like I said, I was going to just have a few, but it's turned into a little mini obsession. So now I have like 30 plants. But and what I noticed was that the more plants I got, I started noticing these little gnats. And my plants, a lot of my plants are in my room, my bedroom, and I cannot stand bugs, first of all. And then gnats, they just fly around. They can fly in your ear, up your nose. It's just crazy. So I had to get rid of them. So I got these little sticky tabs that, they work for a little bit. But that did not take care of the gnat problem, because the gnats apparently grow underneath the first two layers of your moist soil. And it causes a problem because they reproduce so quickly that you'll have thousands of gnats. And the thought of that just made me think, oh gee, I have to get rid of these houseplants. I can't have houseplants in my room. So I had to do something. So I did some research and I looked around different YouTube videos and found out a couple of things when I went online. That first of all, because the gnats live under the first 2 inches of your soil, that there's a couple things you should do. First of all, you should never water your plants from above, which is what I was doing. I was using a watering can to water all my plants. And while that's really convenient and, easy, that was a breeding ground for more gnats and other creepy crawlies that I can't handle in the house. So I know a lot of people have seen these before and they use them. They want to use them as a long-term solution when they go on vacation, but that's not what I use them for. These water globes, they're called watering globes. And this is a big one for a bigger plant. So I wouldn't use this size for a plant this size. I just got these though. So I would use something like this for this plant. And you just put water inside the globe, and then you just stick it in. First of all, you need to make a little hole with a pen or pencil or some sort of device. It's very important that you make this hole before you put that in there. Otherwise, it's not going to work well. You're going to get dirt up inside of the tube, and water's not going to flow easily. So for this, I did the same thing, but I did this for a bigger size plant, like a pot that's like either 6 to 8 inches, and then you can use the big one. But for anything smaller than that, like a 4-inch or or a 4-inch, at least a 4-inch pot, or 6-inch or 5-inch, you can use the smaller ones, the mini ones. And they come in a box like that. I got that one on Amazon. Watering globes. They're a 4-piece set, and I got 2 boxes of those for my plants. So what I do, I don't use this as a long-term vacation type solution like most people are trying to do, because to me that doesn't work. Because the water, if the plant is dry, it's going to suck up all the water. I use this to water my plants from underneath, and not so the soil on the top will not get wet, and it sends water directly to the roots. But most people tell you to water your plants thoroughly before you use the globe, but that defeats my purpose, because if I water from on top, then I still have wet soil on the top, and I just want to have water go to the bottom. So I don't care if the plant is dry. If it's my watering day to water this plant, for example, today is the day I need to water this plant. So I would fill this up. I would fill a small one up with water, and I would poke a hole with a stick or a pen, and then just stick the watering globe inside the soil and then hang out there. What's going to happen is, if the plant is really, really dry, the water will, within a matter of maybe an hour or an hour and a half, it will be gone, and my plant will have been watered. And but if the plant is not very, very dry, it can take up to a day or two. I've never seen it go beyond 2.5 days, 3 days. So it's maybe a weekend getaway. If you need to keep your plant moist, it'd be a good option for watering it, when you're gone. But I don't think that's what this is for. I use this to specifically water my plants from underneath, because another way you can water your plants from underneath, which I like, if you have like a 2-inch pot, a really tiny terrarium plant that needs to be watered and you don't want to water it from on top, you can put water into a tray, fill up the water to about this far up on the plant, and then let it sit there for like 30 minutes. And then once the plant has sucked up the water, you'll see, because the water will go down, then you can take that plant out. But the only reason I don't want to do this for all of my plants is because that's standing water where the gnats will like to hover, and other bugs and organisms. And if you have any type of dirt or soil in there from your plant, it's going to breed bacteria, It's going to do basically, what it, it's going to do. It's going to have the opposite effect. It's going to attract bugs instead of deter them. So, like I said, I use this to actually water my plants on watering days. And I use this on tiny plants to just put water in here. Okay. I use this for the bigger plants. I use that for the smaller plants. And when I have really tiny plants, I water from beneath because it's just one plant. I water using this. Okay, so in addition to underwatering your plants, which I think is extremely important to keep bugs away, there's the issue of fertilizing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a picture of what I plan on using to fertilize my plants from beneath. They're watering spikes, and you can get them on Amazon, which is where I ordered them. They're coming tonight. So I don't have them here to show them to you, but I plan on using that to what I'll do is I'll put water in a container, and I'll put the end of the tube of the watering spike inside the container, and then the tube will go inside the plant, and it will water the plant with the fertilizer, because I'll add the fertilizer to the water in the can or in the jar, or whatever receptacle you want to use. So in addition to underwatering your plants, another great way to keep bugs at bay, and I haven't seen a flea since a fungus gnat since I've done this, is by using something called diatomaceous earth. And I'll try to insert a picture here about what that looks like. It's like a really, really fine powder or dust. You need to use gear. I actually bought a $1 dust mask to put on my face, and I also got some safety goggles so they wouldn't get in my eyes, because it will. If I use a spoon to sprinkle, if you see, you can actually see a little bit of it on top of the soil right here. And since this plant is relatively dry, what happens is the fungus gnat, or whatever the bug that goes in there that has the exoskeleton, will crawl in that and get it all over their body, and it will dry them out. And it will, first of all, it will poke them with a little glass or whatever silicone is. I forget what it's made out of. But the diatomaceous earth will poke them, and then little tiny cuts, and then it will dry out, and they will die. And I have not seen a fungus gnat or any other type of bug since I've done that. And I will, update you if I do see one, but I haven't seen one. So I think it's a great way to prevent bugs and to keep your plants watered is by using these globes, underwatering your small little plants, and using the smaller globe for your mid-sized plants. So I hope this video was helpful. I really needed a solution, and I really spent some time making sure that it's something that I could actually do. It's not a big investment. The globes do cost, this one I got actually from the Lowe's or the Home, I think it was Lowe's, and it was like $5 for one. So that's not, I only have 2 of these, and what I do is I rotate. I have about 5 really, plants that are in bigger containers than that, and when one is dry, I will just use one. Like I said, I use it to water, not to, just keep the globe in there for days. I just want it in there until it's watered. So I let my plants dry out, and what I do is once I let the plant dry out, I stick the globe in here, and then I let it totally release the water into the plant, because when it's dry, the soil is dry, and it creates air pockets, and which allows air to get into the water globe, and water come out and water your plant. So I leave my plants to get them dry. I purposely do that so I can water them in a shorter amount of time. And then what I do is so like I said, my camera just messed up. So like I said, when the plant gets dry, I just allow the water to drain into the pot from these globes, and I use them to water my plant because it keeps this topsoil dry. And then I lost my train of thought because my camera went dead. But anyway, these I think will work great. You could use this in conjunction with the diatomaceous earth. These actually cost, I don't know how much I paid for this. These are like on sale on Amazon. So the smaller ones are cheaper, but I can't remember how much they cost. And you could also get the watering spikes, which I showed a picture of, for like a set of 10 for like $13 or so on Amazon, and fertilize your plant that way. So I'll do another video about fertilizing and what I'm going to do, what I plan on doing. But thanks for watching the video. I hope it was helpful. I hope that it will take care of your fungus gnat situation or any other bugs you have. Just comment, like, subscribe. Give me any more suggestions. If you have something that works better than this, please let me know. because I'm always open for suggestions. I just started this plant journey, and I'm just excited about all the beautiful plants. This, by the way, is my Photonia that has some of the dust from the diatomaceous earth on there still. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.